My name's Justin Morris. My wife, Laurie, and I started attending Cross Point when the church reopened the doors in 2020. The first time we left here, we both looked at each other on the car ride home and just felt like we had never been more at home. And I guess a couple of months after we had started coming, Pastor James had started talking about the Move Initiative and relaunching it.
And we went home and we talked about it, didn't really think much else about it. But it did keep coming up, and it was something that we decided we wanted to be a part of. We saw all the blessings that the church was able to do because of people who were part of the Move Initiative, and we wanted to be a part of that as well.
Money was one thing that I always felt like I could control. And that's one thing I always struggled with, was consistently giving. And it was just like I just felt so at peace, when we decided to do that. So I talked to her one day and I said, I think I've come up with a number, and I feel comfortable with this number to not put us in any type of situation where we would be uncomfortable financially. And she just looked at me and said, okay. That morning I woke up and I felt uneasy, and something was different, and I'm like, I'm not sure what it is. So the whole ride to church, didn't really say anything. And then towards the time of the service, when it was time to turn in the card, I just looked at her and I said, this is not it. This is not it. I said,
it's not enough. And I said, what do you mean it's not enough? And he said, we need to double it. And I said, you thought now was the best time to talk about this as we're about to recommit? And he said, yeah. So I took a second and I said, okay. And we doubled it.
It shocked me, but I had never felt more at peace about it than when I looked at her and those words came out of my mouth. And so I scratched it out, I doubled the figure, and I went and turned it in. And over the course of the next 6 weeks, life got a little tough. I feel like everything at our house that could break, broke.
Things happened at home, and heavy expenses came in that we weren't expecting. And it could have been easy to say, all right, let's let go of this move expense. That's one area that we can save to cover some other costs, but we chose to continue forward.
It was a crazy time, and then about 6 weeks in, God really showed up. I was fortunate to get a raise at work, and not only did it cover the full amount, pledged, but it was also a 15% increase over the total amount. And it was God showing us, hey, if you will trust, then, I will take care of you. And it was amazing. And, when we went to the retreat, Pastor James had mentioned, how it's all God's, and if you surrender all and you give it all to Him, but you keep one thing in your life and you keep your hands closed and don't surrender all and give all, how do you expect to receive more? If you open your hands and you give all, God can continue to bless you.